Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy you're here. So for everyone who doesn't know me, I'm Dr. Eve Seiler. I'm one of the research doctors here. So, but also my passion is raw vegan food creation. So I love eating raw vegan food, and I'm raw vegan since 4 years. So that means I don't cook my food, and I also don't like packaged food. So I don't like processed food. So if it's distilled or extracted, like sugar, even though you don't cook it, but it's processed, so I don't like it. I keep my food very, very simple. So I like very whole foods, like it was grown. You know, you just pick it and it's whole. So you see all these vegetables here, and I'm gonna make today raw vegan tacos out of these vegetables. From everything. The only packaged food I have here is dried chili. Whole dried chili I have here. Everything else is from scratch. So since Mauricio needs the blender in 30 minutes, I'm gonna start with the sauce first. So what do we need for a taco? So you have the tortilla thing, right? There's soft shell, there's hard shell, okay? We actually also have a soft shell. We have a hard shell and a few hard shells and a soft shell. Right here. Oh, we have another one actually, now that I see this. Okay, fine. So we need the shell, and we need some sauces, and there's also some meat in there, right? Some vegetables. Meat is actually, it doesn't mean that it's flesh. Meat is food. It's considered food. That's just people translated it from the Bible. When they talk in the Bible about meat, that's actually food. It doesn't mean necessarily flesh. We should call it flesh. That's what it is, right? Anyway. Yeah, we need some kind of meat.
Make sure I correct my relatives when they talk about eating meat. Yeah, so you mean flesh.
Yes, exactly. You mean animals. Really, very rarely people would eat a whole animal. They need to process the food. Spices with plants, so it tastes good. You know, you have to put plants on the meat to flesh to make it taste good. Okay, so but back to the tacos. So we have the shell. We have some kind of meats, crumbly stuff in there, vegetables, and then maybe some sauces. So I'm gonna make a spicy sweet sauce, red spicy sweet sauce, and guacamole. Guacamole will fit pretty well, and then some vegetables. Raw corn is really good too. So first we do the sweet spicy sauce, and I'm gonna use the blender for that. Oh, I forgot to get a fork. Could someone maybe get me a fork? Sorry about that.
What do you need?
Fork. Yeah,
just
just
a
a fork. Yeah, she's already good. Thank you. Just for later for the guacamole, I forgot the fork. All right, and so for the sauce, for the red sauce, so I always love. Thank you so much. For the red sauce, I always love to use red bell pepper. So I'd call it tomato sauce, but I don't even put tomatoes in really, because if you make a sauce in a blender, I mean, if you cook tomatoes, then you concentrate it, or you could also use dried tomatoes. Then it's concentrated and it's red, so you can make a nice sauce, tomato sauce out of it. But I don't have any dried tomatoes here. I don't cook the sauce. So I like to use red bell peppers because that makes the sauce really red and nice and also flavorful. Not so much liquid like a tomato. We do have tomatoes here too, but I'm gonna use for my red spicy sweet sauce. I'm gonna use red bell peppers. I'm always like winging it, right? Okay, 2 big red bell peppers. I never go after a recipe, like a strict recipe, because the food is always different anyway, and the day is different, every day is different. So I don't really go after recipe. The thing is, if you prepare raw vegan food and you don't mix too many things together, and you have very high quality ingredients, then it's gonna be good. Maybe it's not what you expected at first, but it will taste good. There's nothing that can go wrong, but because everything whole tastes already good, so how can it not taste good if you mix it together a little bit? Just a little bit. I don't mix too many things together, but I know goes well together is sweetness and red bell peppers. And mango for the sweetness. So I have a mango here. And how I cut the mango, you see the little stem here, and the seed is like parallel to this mango, like here in the middle. And I just cut right next to this stem here. And I can feel where the seed is pretty much. So on each side, just cut the mango here. And this I can just peel off. If the mango is really ripe, you can do that. If it's hard and it's never getting soft, you could still use it for the sauce. It's going to be okay for the sauce. But you might want to use a potato peeler then, if you can't peel it, and then just cut it later. This I just slice a little bit off the pit. You can also chew on it later. And then the flesh I just take out like an avocado really. If it's nice and soft, it will come off like avocado flesh. If you want to eat the mango, you can just do like little pieces, and then you can have your mango. It's not so messy. Just taking care that I don't have any. Some peel in here. I think it's a small mango, so I'm going to use all of it.
Would you use either kind of mango, like the red, bigger mango?
You can use that too. Last time I actually used the bigger mango, and I used only half of it because it was really big. Yeah, you can use that one too. Even if it's not that sweet, I mean, that's totally fine. It will taste good. It will taste different, but and then a little bit chili. I like chili. A little bit. That's cayenne pepper. What else? And celery. Celery, like with any dressing, I always put celery in. Celery is really great. Some people don't like celery, but if you put it in the blender, you don't feel it. It's gone really. It just has the saltiness. It's not so stringy. Oh, how many stems did I put in? I think maybe
5.
3. 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put more or less.
Two peppers.
And then, yeah, that's actually already the sauce, honestly. It doesn't need to be so complicated. Of course, if you have your favorite herb or a favorite spice, you can put it in. You could also chop some parsley or basil, anything you like really, but we'll keep it simple here. Okay, I'm just gonna blend it up. The good thing with mango, it will thicken up later a little bit more. Oops.
You have yours, sorry. Oh, you forgot.
No worries. Welcome. See, and oh, you have the nice color, huh? You must. So just made a sauce out of red bell peppers, mango, celery, and chili. Right? That was it. That's it. Very simple. Just gonna pour it in here. You have this really nice color, and it's a little bit liquid right now. Usually, it will thicken up a little bit more. I hope so, actually. But it's not bad. I mean, it's probably also flavorful too. And we have the guacamole as well as a sauce. I was gonna get everything out, but I guess the rest is for the kitchen. Lots of sauce already, and it's really simple. You really don't need anything. It's just a blender. But we can also make a sauce without a blender. So, for example, you could also make a salsa, just tomatoes. Also the mango, just sliced mango pieces, tomatoes, maybe some scallions with it, or basil, lemon juice, and then you have a salsa. You don't necessarily need a blender. And there are so many ways to prepare food. So
That would just be more chunky, right? Without the blender, just to get more chunky.
yes, it will be
sauce.
chunky.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is really saucy. We'll see if it thickens up a little bit. So to the guacamole, I also have a way to make more low-fat guacamole. So of course I need avocados. I think I'll maybe use 2 avocados. I always start with an avocado so I can make them, munch them with a fork without other ingredients in there. And I always get rid of the black spots because they're not tasty. They're really not tasty. I saw someone posting really proud a picture on, was it Facebook or Instagram, with black and moldy avocados. I said, oh, I got used of those avocados. I just made a chocolate cream. They're not a good idea. Like, how can they do this? It's brown, yeah, but it also doesn't taste good. Yeah, they mix it with cacao, so you don't see the brown avocados. This is gross. This is not too bad, but it has some spots here. That's why I took some more avocados in case. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, just let us just talk about anything.
As a raw vegan, do you eat beans?
I do eat sprouted chickpeas
Okay.
and sprouted lentils. Beans, I've heard that they're toxic because of too many lectins if they're raw. So I don't eat really like the kidney beans.
Did you sprout yourself?
But the lentils, it's really easy. The lentils, any kind of lentils, really brown lentils, green lentils, they're really good, sprouted. And then chickpeas, it's kind of hard to find. Sometimes they need to be really raw. Sometimes you buy them in the store and it says it's raw, but they somehow treated them, and then they don't sprout. So I have some good chickpeas that I bought and they sprout very well. So if you send me an email, I'm gonna put my email there. So I have some links where I buy food online. And then also green peas you could also sprout, of course. That's what I eat. I don't do a lot of sprouting, but I do that.
Besides corn, any other whole grains that you eat?
Oats, sprouted oats, and sprouted buckwheat, which is considered not a grain, but how many people are fasting here? Oh, a lot of people. Maybe I'll just keep to them. Otherwise, I have to eat too much. So then, of course, oh no, I'm gonna munch this first. So without anything in, it's much easier.
So what's your doctorate in?
I have a PhD, so in bioorganic chemistry. So in chemistry, and it's not medical, but now I do clinical research here. So just a regular fork, and if you have a huge batch of guacamole to make, you can also use a potato masher.
What got you interested in fasting research in the first place?
Well, that's not how I started. I was just interested in natural science in general, and then after I was more interested in health. And okay, I'll slice the tomato here. It's going in next. And then I was more interested in health and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I stopped working there and I found out about True North. Not necessarily fasting fascinates me, but also like being healthy, and fasting is part of it.
I don't know, even like how long have you been raw food?
4 years.
Do you fast ever yourself?
Yes. Where what I do, I'm not a like professional chef. So if you want to ask someone how to cut properly, then ask Ramses. Yeah, sure.
Do you sprout seeds also?
Yeah. So the oats, I would consider also the seeds like buckwheat, oats, sproutable oats. You have to have also the sproutable version. Just regular oat groats usually don't sprout. So you have to make sure that you have a sproutable.
I think they steam them or something.
Yeah. And then what else do I sprout?
Sunflower seed?
Yes, sunflower seeds.
Can you
And even
explain-
the regular, the ones that are whole, I soak them, and then they sprout a little bit.
Okay. So can you explain how to sprout? Do you know how to sprout to get the kinds of sprouts that are on the in
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. You can just sprout with a mason jar and a sprouting lid. It's called a sprouting lid. You get it stainless steel from Amazon. I have it also on my list. Okay, I have one big tomato here. The finer you chop the tomatoes, the better actually for the guacamole. And then I like to put lemon juice, of course, or lime juice. We had some limes there, so I'm gonna use lime juice today. Lime juice is really, really good for guacamole. It's like a must. Maybe like 3 even. Oh, maybe not. I was thinking I had more avocados, but maybe per avocado I would definitely use at least 1 lime. And you can always taste if it's sour enough for you. Some people don't like lemon at all with avocado, like my sister doesn't like. But you'll try it for yourself. If you don't want to put lemon in there,
You mean lime?
you don't have to.
Lime.
Oh, or lime, lemon or lime. It's pretty similar. It just has a nice little extra flavor. So I put 1.5 in there for now. But I usually taste it, and also the lemon is always different flavor. So this is already your base for guacamole, and you don't really need to put anything else. If you put a lot of plant juice in, then it'll taste already pretty good. But to make it more or less fat, you can also mix it with celery. And for that, I would chop celery in my little chopper. This is like a food processor, really. You can use a food processor. This is called a chopper. So I just take a bunch, like 4 stalks again. I think I took 4 stalks for this sauce too. Or maybe even more. Maybe we take 5. Because if you chop it a little bit really small. Let's just chop it up.
What kind of food processor is that?
This is it says Home Leader. It's a really low name, but it's called Food Chopper if you put it on Amazon, or you send me an email. I'm gonna put my email real quick in here. Then I can also send you my Amazon list so you can that I buy. Just chopping it, and yeah, that's it. It's really finely chopped, so if you put it in your guacamole, you won't even feel it.
It's a great.
You can put more or less. I mean, the more you put in, the less creamy it will be. But the less fat you have there too. And you also have the saltiness. So I put a lot in right now. So usually I wouldn't put that much in, maybe just half of it. But today, well, we're just gonna try it, you know. Maybe it doesn't taste like guacamole anymore, but it will be tasty.
It says the same.
Yeah, that's a lot of celery. But we'll see.
Still looks good.
We'll see. I would also put another tomato in. I like guacamole with a little bit more tomato maybe.
So no onion or anything?
You could put onion in if you like it. I'm just not a super huge fan of onion in general. But yeah, jalapeno you could put in. Everything you like, really. I mean, this is just the base, and you make it how you like it.
Some people stretch it with peas. I like the celery better.
With peas?
Yeah, they get peas to make it less color. They dance.
Oh yeah, you could do that too. Peas. Well, peas are a little bit more complex. They have their own flavor. Like celery doesn't have any flavor really. It just has salty flavor, which is really good. So something simple I would do. I almost had peas today, but I think they wanted to cook it, so I didn't want to steal them the peas, the sugar peas. So you can always have it extra. Before you mix things in, you can always chop it up and have it extra and then mix it together as well. Just in case if you make it too complex, then it's not too...
Oh, so you're adding sugar peas, like grind them, put them
Yeah,
in
I
there?
wouldn't personally do it, but
Oh.
if you try it and you like it like that, definitely you can do that. I would only put like something simple like celery, which is also salty, which gives just the salty flavor, no other flavor. And a lot of tomatoes apparently. Oh yeah. And see, I just had only 2 avocados and I already have like the full bowl. It's still green. Sorry, I'm a little bit messy here. Yeah, I would probably I have a feeling I need another, at least 2 lines. Didn't try it, but. Okay, then really mix it up. It's important. Yeah, you know, you could have put in some chili and chop it with the celery as well. Some fresh chili. Just chop it up with it. Or jalapenos. Then you have it spicy. You can also put black pepper in there too. It still feels creamy, you know, it still looks like a guacamole. I put a lot of celery in.
Do you have this recipe anywhere written?
No, actually not. You write it down for you. You can make the recipe. I like my guacamole with cilantro. That's what I put. I put some cilantro. But if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to. You know, this is like the base, the low-fat base, I would say. And then Marisa's coming in soon and get the blender.
Yeah.
But I don't need it anymore. Good.
Is your mom watching live?
No, I'll put it. I'll have to edit a little bit and then I put it on YouTube.
Is she still in Germany?
Oh yeah. Still, yeah. I wish I could take it. Right?
I don't know what the time change is there.
Oh yeah, it's 9 hours.
Ahead?
Yes, right.
Yes, it's better if you work from home, it's 3 hours ahead, just going over the phone.
Eve, did you say you have a blog?
I do have a YouTube channel where I put the food demos on. And I also like to put more herbs in. I mean, a lot of herbs. I eat a lot of herbs. I love herbs. I probably would even put more in, but we'll keep it like
What's the name of your YouTube
that. Evelyn Seiler. I'm gonna put everything here
channel? Okay.
in a minute. I forgot about that.
And you can see her sing like an angel, and you'll be blown away.
Thank you. I was also singing in the church. Get that. Okay, our guacamole. Actually, so if I see that here, it still seems really rich. So, and I put a lot of celery in here. See, so we have our sauce here. Oh, it's a little bit thicker. Let's thicken it up a little bit. Guacamole. What else do we need for our? Yeah, I love raw corn. We still need the taco shells. I love raw corn, so I'm happy I found some raw corn in the kitchen. But you know what I read? The silk of the corn is medicinal. The hair. I was calling it hair. But I do love raw corn, and well, there are some ways to get it off the cob. I think a serrated knife might be helpful, and then you just cut it from the middle.
I use an angel food cake pan. You put the angel food cake, you put it on the center of the angel food cake pan, and then you balance it on that little circle. When you turn it over, you cut it all down and it all falls into the pan.
Oh, what is it called?
An angel food cake pan. It's like
Angel
a-
food?
Yeah, it's like a, or a tube
Like a
pan.
bun?
It has a circle in the middle. So if it has a big twist, then you can start from the top and just cut it all the way down.
That's fancy. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So it's dangerous. Don't wear good clothes here in my demo.
We're worried about me eating it.
Well, yeah. I'm not fancy, so I'll have this serrated knife, and I'll first put the.
So my friend that left is asking if.
Oh my God, it's so Oh yeah. Unless something happens and I don't look good. Yeah, you can find a way to make a to get it off like that. As I said, or ask Ramses a better way. But I think it's working like this.
There's this video has it stripped and everything.
Yeah, but you get the idea. I mean, I don't usually would chew it off too. Okay, then I'll have the corn here. I'll keep it separate. And then, what else do we have? So I also have some scallions. I mean, I'm not completely onion free. Sometimes I like the green onions. But you can chop it extra. Or you can also mix it with the corn maybe, or
So what is it you're making then?
I'll just make what I'm making
Okay.
like a
Oh,
general.
this is just to add
Yeah,
into the
it's for
taco.
raw vegan tacos.
Raw vegan,
Mhm. So I make the ingredients that go in the taco. So I have some time, but it's a little bit more complicated, more complex than other foods. That's for sure. Than a salad. Like I can also just leave it now and just eat a salad. Just have a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, and then I put the guacamole in, and this is my salad dressing. You can use it as salad dressing. But we're gonna be fancy today.
So Eve, there are a lot of approaches to the raw vegan diet. Like some people are like high fat, no fruit. Some people are like,
I know.
you know, all of that. Yeah, all the famous ones. You know, so how do you find like what works for you? Like what's your meal plan that works for you?
Yeah, I eat whatever I want to eat. I don't listen to anyone.
Good.
If someone says fruit is bad, I'm gonna say I don't think so, really.
So what like does a typical like day's meal plan then look like for you, or is it different every day?
So I eat fruit and I eat vegetables. Every vegetables that I like. If it's starchy, well, it ended up being not that starchy, so I don't often eat a lot of carrots or beets now. I have a beet here, jicama. Those are more starchy. Or a sweet potato. You can eat a sweet potato. It's not a potato, and even potatoes you can eat raw, just not the leaves. But a sweet potato is not in the family of potato. You can even eat the leaves of a potato. I never had the leaves of a sweet potato. You cannot eat the leaves of a regular potato. They're toxic. The green of potato is always toxic, the regular potato. But even if you cook it, it'll also be toxic. So you should not eat green potatoes. But they're not toxic raw, they're just very starchy, not really tasty.
So even if you see a little green tin in it, you should throw it out.
You definitely should cut it out very, very thorough.
Oh, it's more on the outside, so
Yeah, it's more on the outside. If it's completely green, no, I wouldn't eat it. I would also not eat it cooked.
okay.
But the sweet potato is not in the nightshade family, and you can eat it raw. It's less starchy, so it actually tastes also good. So I'm gonna cut it open and you can try it. The thing I don't have yet is the meaty part. So for taco meat, there's also a lot of raw vegan versions of taco meat, very different ones. What I do today is nut-free, so it doesn't have any nuts. And I like to use just vegetables that are not that liquid, so that don't have a lot of water, like a carrot. Last time, actually, when I did the taco meat, I only used broccoli, chopped broccoli, and then I had the sweet peas. I mixed the broccoli with the sweet peas and tarragon, the herb tarragon, and that was it. And people liked it.
What was it, broccoli, what in here then?
Broccoli, sweet, the sugar peas,
Sugar peas, okay.
and tarragon, fresh tarragon. And people really liked that. It was really simple. But today I don't have sugar peas, and I'm just gonna use a little bit of asparagus. Is this asparagus even good? No, it's not. I don't like this asparagus. Maybe we don't use asparagus for I changed my mind about, but I have a carrot, so I put the carrot
How
in
can
here.
you tell that wasn't good? Because I saw you looking at the end of it.
No, I just cut it and it was kind of
Mushy.
mushy.
Oh.
And I didn't want to take the time and take the good part
Yeah.
out. It was just a little bit. It'll go in the compost.
So far you have carrots, broccoli, asparagus.
No, it's not asparagus this time. Broccoli and carrots. You probably could use asparagus, but it's good. You could really use any vegetable that doesn't have that much water. Like a red bell pepper even has a lot of water actually. So I'm not gonna put that much in, honestly. Because we wanna keep it meaty and not that liquid for meat. So regular taco meat recipes always use like maybe walnuts are really good. That's for sure. It will be tasty. Walnuts maybe with some people even do mushrooms, but I don't like mushrooms. But you could do walnuts with broccoli or something, or just walnuts, even with celery. You could also put celery a bit in. Yeah, celery you can always put it. But maybe also parsley. Parsley is also always a good herb.
And if the corn kernels could be kind of like we not going to, you know.
The corn? The corn would be, yeah, it would be a good meat. I think so, yeah. I'll have the corn now extra, but you could chop the corn with something else. And also the color, I was gonna aim for at least a little bit of a brownish color, so the red and the green will definitely give a little more brownish color. And then, oh, I put some thyme in here. I was trying to say what I'm doing here. This is a little bit thyme, but you can really use any herb.
Do you just not like mushrooms, or do you have something
I
against
don't-
them?
I think they're not good raw even. I don't know. Recently I tried eating mushrooms. I didn't like the taste and I didn't like how I really feel. It was not super bad, but
I've heard a lot of plant-based doctors say you should only eat mushrooms cooked. And here they serve them on the salad bar with their cooked.
yeah, they are cooked. And you could put some onions in here too, if you want to. Basil, I have some basil. Honestly, but for a meaty taste, like basil is always pretty good too. Parsley
So you
and
put
onions.
parsley and thyme and basil?
Mhm. But we have here onions extra, so I'm not gonna put onions in here. Yeah, I made tacos already one day. It was pretty good, but I'm always doing something new because today I didn't have sugar peas, so I have to do something. I wanted to do it with the asparagus, but that didn't turn out well, so I have to do something else. Just chocolate.
If you use sugar peas, would you be doing the same
The
thing?
last
getting
time-
into there?
The last time I used broccoli, sugar peas, and tarragon, and that's it. Just the three. It was pretty good. This time I used, what was it? Broccoli, carrot, red bell pepper, parsley,
Basil.
thyme, basil.
Celery.
Did we put
No,
celery?
no
No,
celery.
we didn't put celery. You could. You could put celery in, but it's really, I mean, so you see here, you have a little bit darker color. It's meaty. It's probably a little bit boring. If I would eat it as it is, I would put lemon juice on here. But with all the other sauces, it will be fine, I think. It looks a little bit boring right now. But it's not free. You could put walnuts is really good for taco meat, but I do eat walnuts as well, but not that often. Oh yeah, you were asking me that question. I didn't even answer that. So regular day is for me. I eat my first meal is just simple fruits, whatever, preferably whatever is in season. Like today, these days I like to eat peaches, and I do like to eat a full bowl, like a bowl of this, and I cannot even close the lid, but I fill it completely with peaches, and this is my meal, my first meal. Maybe if I feel like it, I would eat some other fruit. But I like to keep it simple too. But I'm not strict like Mono or something. If I really feel like oranges and bananas go well together, I'm gonna definitely eat them together. But I always listen to my body too. If I don't feel afterwards, or something is off, or it doesn't really taste good, then I don't do it next time. You know, just learning. Okay, here we have our nut-free taco meat, really simple. If you put onions, chopped onions will make it even more meaty. But we have onions extra, so.
Okay, so after a fruit meal, then do you do more fruit or do you mix it?
So this is my first meal, and then in the evening I would have a salad. I would have this, maybe. This is technically a salad.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks a little bit different, but it's technically still a salad. Yeah, I would have that with sometimes avocado, sometimes nuts and seeds. Sometimes I don't feel like eating nuts and seeds, so I don't. Yeah, it's pretty simple, and I don't follow anymore. Yeah, some people eat.
Or 2 meals a day, is that what you?
Usually I eat 2 meals a day,
Yeah.
and if I'm still hungry or want to have a dessert, then maybe after I would eat again fruits or dates, maybe, and then.
Do you supplement with anything?
I don't do any supplements. I'm not recommending using supplements or not using supplements. I mean, everyone has to figure that out by themselves. I just don't. I checked my blood recently and was on the lower range, but it was still in range, like my vitamin D or B12. Yeah. So, and I feel good, so I don't see a reason to supplement right now. Maybe. One day, who knows? Maybe one day I want to eat meat again. I don't know.
So B12, you don't
Flesh.
have
I don't
B12?
think so. What do you say?
You don't have B12?
No, I don't do B12, but I also live sometimes a little bit more dirtier. I don't. If I had a nice carrot just from the ground, I don't need to wash it. Why? I like soil, healthy soil. Maybe I would even eat a little bit of soil in that. But I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, Dr. Goldhammer also said it has parasites. Yeah, sure, it might have parasites. But I'm not concerned about parasites because I don't feed any parasites. I don't feed them cheese and pasta and flesh. You know, that's what parasites like to eat. I don't feed them that. And I also do a lot of herbs, and sometimes I would eat diatomaceous earth. Yeah, or other herbs that repel parasites. Like you could also do. Well, I drink it and I put it in my water. So.
Think about the diatomaceous
And or herbs that are repellent, like or papaya seeds. Sometimes I use papaya seeds. So my diet is really I eat pretty much everything that is plant based, and I try everything. And I read a lot of herbs that are medicinal. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I eat a leaf of an olive tree. I would just chew on it, or I would eat a little bit of lavender here and then, or the mint or ginger, turmeric. It's all parasite repellent, has this anti-parasitic properties. Ginger as well.
Do you drink smoothies?
Hmm?
Do you drink smoothies?
Somewhat.
Smoothies?
No, I'm not really into smoothies a lot. This is my only. The smoothies are always like salad dressing and sauces. But I have to keep going here and make the taco. So, but you have a question?
You mentioned papaya seeds. Do you dry them or do you eat
Mhm.
them kind of?
You
out
could,
there?
yeah. I sometimes when I cut open a papaya, I just leave a little bit of seeds in there, and I just eat the seeds with it. I also dry papaya seeds, and they are similar like black pepper. You could use them instead of black pepper. And then you can dry them. You can even, if you just leave the bowl of papaya seeds, I did that too in the fridge. You just have to be careful that it doesn't spoil, but they will even dry in the fridge at some point. So, but I have a dehydrator too. Okay, the taco shell. You need to do the taco shell. So I have a jicama, and I really liked the jicama the last time. Just cut that piece off here. And I would just peel it real quick. It's a little bit harder to do, but you get it. I also make sure to show you like everything, so you see the whole process and you're not afraid, oh gosh, if I have to peel it. That's not, oops. I cut this out. It's not, yeah, but it's doable. I mean, you can do it too.
It's hard to peel a sphere. It's very hard. But Hickam is worth it. Hickam is so good.
Yeah, at the end, it's all worth it. And it's a workout, you know. People pay to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Why don't they just peel something? Do something.
Nobody's preparing food at home. That's the reality.
Yeah. So it's a workout of it, but it's not that bad.
Trader, I don't know if they still have them, if you guys see them, Trader Joe's has hickam, like,
Yes.
that's just a slice of hickam in a
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah, they have
They
their
weren't
package.
organic, but.
Yeah, and also they're packaged, so they're definitely, it's definitely not that fresh. And who knows if they put something else in there. Hi. Hi. Yeah, you can come in. That's no problem. You're all here, just hanging out.
Go back to the sprouted oats while you're peeling. Like why would you sprout oats?
Why?
Yeah, as opposed to just eating them.
So I believe I would not eat anything, any food in their natural state that I cannot eat. And I cannot eat the corn, like it's too hard. I cannot chew it, I can only swallow it and then I can digest it. So you have to roll it, you know, they roll it so they make it softer to eat. And it's heated usually. It's not alive.
So it's an oat seed. Oh, it's an oat seed that you sprout. Oat
Yes.
grow. It's the oat groat.
The oat groat, yeah.
Oh, so you can just you just take the oat groats and sprout them in water.
Mm-hmm. But you cannot use any kind of oat groat. They need to say that they are sproutable, so they will grow even.
That's what that means when it says sprouted.
Yes, they will grow a plant. So you could grow a plant. If you soak, you could also soak the regular oat groats, but they will just be softer, but they won't grow.
They won't grow.
No.
Sprout.
They won't sprout, no. So a few harder pieces I just take off with a knife. And I mean, it didn't take me that long. And then I have a mandolin here. It's just for slicing. And I also have a glove because it's really dangerous.
Oh, yes.
So this is a glove.
Oh, you too?
Oh yeah.
Well, I was thinking potato chips. What were you doing?
Any vegetable, because it's very dangerous.
And then you can just check how you like the thickness. I kind of like that. It's really soft. You can also do a little bit more than this, or thicker. Just however you like it, really. You know, it shouldn't be that thin that it's falling apart, but. Let's see how thin is this. Because the first ones are. Did you get anything here? The first ones are a little bit not like more taco. Maybe I'll do that a little bit thicker. You can also do ravioli with this even. Just fill it and then you know, and then put it on the plate. It's a lot of work, but if you really want to be fancy, usually if I travel, I just eat the things as they are. I don't even prepare anything. If I travel so simple. I do a little bit thicker maybe. Yeah, if I travel, I have my fruits, I have some vegetables, maybe I do kale chips or vegetable crackers that I dry. And I have my seaweed. But usually I have fruits and then, or like vegetables, so like tomatoes, lettuce as well. You can also go to a store and just buy lettuce. And I would, or also the parsley, I would just eat it as it is. First the corn maybe, then this, then that. I mean, it doesn't make any difference for your body. And it is pretty enjoyable. You think that's not fancy?
Doesn't that mandolin have feet?
Yeah, it has a stand.
No, we're getting there. Yes. Oops. Yeah, this is not bad. Yeah, so we have our taco shell here.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit of practice, you know, but it's okay. Don't go in the gym, just make your food. And then you don't even have to exercise much because I don't have to exercise a lot. Yeah, sure, if you want to be really muscular.
That's why she doesn't use the feet on the mandolin.
Right.
Okay, you get the idea of the jicama? Yeah, so if you use a bigger jicama, you have, of course, you have bigger taco shells.
They're straight tacos.
Yeah, those are small tacos. You can also do it thinner. Yeah, this is one type. Then you could also use a red beet. I never used the red beet, honestly, but we're gonna try it. Haven't eaten red beet for a long time either. This is raw, yeah, that's a raw red beet. You can also eat raw beets. I have one recipe where I use grated raw red beets for Russian. Who's Russian here? Someone Russian? It's a Russian herring salad. And instead of the herring, I use seaweed and avocado. And it tastes like a herring. And then it calls for red beet grated and a mayonnaise. So I make a mayonnaise kind of thing with pine nuts and sunflower seeds in the blender, turmeric for the color, and then it gets mixed with the red beet. It's really good.
Sounds good. What was your mayonnaise? Sunflower seeds and what?
The mayonnaise I would use sunflower seeds and pine nuts.
And
Pine nuts are very good. You could also use only pine nuts, but pine nuts are really expensive, so and also really, really rich. So that's really rich.
So just sunflower seeds and pine nuts? That's
And
it?
then lemon juice. Definitely a lot of lemon juice. Or if you want to have it more vinegary, then maybe you want to use apple cider vinegar. But I use lemon juice, turmeric, a little bit of turmeric just for the little slight yellow color. And then, yeah, you could also just mix some celery maybe in there, but not too much. It should be more smooth as well. Maybe you have to have some water then maybe if you don't put too much lemon juice. Okay, let's try the beet.
What kind of seaweed in that salad?
Seaweed, I like dulse seaweed. And then the nori sheets, raw nori sheets are pretty good too. And I like also sea lettuce. And if you use seaweed that, I like to use the whole leaves. And if you have leaves that are a little bit too chewy, you can also chop the seaweed dry yourself. You can buy the flakes, but honestly the flakes, they have sometimes stones in them and like impurities. And if you buy the whole leaves, you can take them out first and like they come from the ocean and they don't usually take too much care. They don't take too much care to clean it up, in the industry. So yeah, it's pretty nice actually. So we have our red beet taco shells. Probably will discolor those, but keep them separate.
It'll be a lot sweeter too. Right?
It will be, yeah, the
Taste
taste will be
sweeter.
definitely different. You could also use the yellow beets maybe.
Yeah,
And then I have,
golden.
golden beets, yeah. Then I have a sweet potato. I never did it with sweet potato either. Oh, it's white. It's not bad.
It's a Vienna.
Yeah, I've had pita also on my list.
So if they need people, will they get it from you or should we take it back? If they need that, will they come in?
They'll
or should
take
we
it.
take back?
No, he said he's gonna take it at 2:30. I don't know. No. He won't miss it. He knows where it is.
There's only one wonder For all the juices they make for everybody?
They use the juice.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to go raw?
It was very gradually that I was very interested in being super, super healthy. And then I was also experimenting with fasting. And after the fast, it was like naturally too that I want to stay raw. And then I stayed raw for more than 1 day or two. And then I tried cooked food again, and it didn't feel good to me. Like potatoes, I love potatoes, cooked potatoes with olive oil on it and salt. I could eat like a full bowl of it, but then I cleansed out and I ate only my raw food. And then my husband back then had cooked potatoes, and it's like, I can just eat it. Why not? I mean, one day I'll just eat the potatoes because I felt so good on raw already. I didn't want to even make cooked food. But he had it there, and I just, okay, I'm gonna eat a potato, why not? So I ate the potato, and I felt so heavy and so tired, and it felt like so heavy in my stomach. I didn't digest well anymore. So that was not a good experience then anymore. I mean, the taste, yeah, I have the memory. In the past, I loved it, I ate it, and I enjoy watching people sometimes eating potatoes fine. But for myself, it's different now. Okay, that's a potato. I'll be all a little bit discolored from the red beet. I should have started with this first. But you get the idea, and you can also try the sweet potato and see if you even like it, because it is a little bit starchy. But yeah, it'll work. If you find a bigger sweet potato, like thicker, then you can also use this.
Do you think seaweed, like reishi would work for this too?
Seaweed, yes, and yeah, I do seaweed sheets. Yes, like the nori sheets. I don't usually always do sushi. I will just put my salad in the nori sheet, and then the sauces like guacamole, and roll it up, and then eat it like a burrito. So yeah, you could definitely do that. I definitely do that. I don't have the fancy tools for making sushi all the time, but sometimes I do cauliflower rice, and yeah, you could do that. But if you don't have time, why not? And then this could be also a taco shell. There you go. I mean, it's already done. So let's make a taco. Actually, let's make some tacos. So we have all our ingredients. We'll just start with the. Unfortunately, I don't have this fancy tray where you can put the tacos in. So maybe I can just use this also for holding my tacos somehow. I don't know how this will work. Yeah, maybe you can just place it between vegetables.
Do you want one of the small ones that they would fit next to each other?
That would, yeah, probably. But we can't see it then. Oh, I was gonna say, this is also like a taco shell.
Yeah.
You can also fill it. Let's try filling it here. So start maybe with our meat here. And then I don't have a spoon for this, but I'll be fine with some corn. And then maybe we'll do some onions. Green onions, then my guacamole. Oh, a lot of guacamole, but it's low fat. And then some of the sauce here on top, maybe. Oh,
Looks pretty good, huh? Looks pretty. It's really pretty.
This here, and then let's try this here. It's small one still, but you'll find maybe a really big sweet potato. We'll see. I guess so. fill it like till the top. So this is a little one. But yeah, if you have these fancy trays for holding the taco.
Eve, have you had any success fermenting food without salt?
Yes, with celery. Yeah.
With celery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I haven't tried that.
Okay, let's try the. Yeah, you could use other vegetables, really. Everything you like. You can use walnuts if you want to have more richer taco.
Seems like a lot of work, but you did it all in an hour, really.
I know, it's not a lot of work, really. And also the cleanup is so simple. There are no pans. You can clean up with just water. And yeah, even if you drop something on the floor, it will not stink or it's, I mean, it will dry up and then you just take it away. The dog eats it. It's not like making bacon and then it's fatty all over the place. Okay, now it's the presentation. Okay, you can, maybe I'll do another one like this too. Yeah, this is really easy. You don't even need a mandolin or anything. You can just eat it as it is. So different kinds of tacos. Maybe the presentation could be a little bit better, but
So pretty.
and it's just from Whole Foods.
And you get to eat a lot of them.
You can,
Not just
yeah.
one.
Wow. And my red hands here.
I know.
Oh. Does anyone want to try it too? So, I don't know, I can, well, you want to do it yourself or you want me to do it?
I'll get a just leave it up on.
You want, yeah, you can.
Could you put all your information up there?
Yes.
Or just
Yeah,
leave it
before
up
I-
there?
mhm. So if you write me an email,
Eve, have you been on Chef AJ?
no.
Well, you need to be.
Would you like to be?
Sure.
And do this whole thing, do this one.
Yeah.
So Evelyn Zeiler on YouTube and eve.zeiler@protonmail.com. So if you send me an email, I'll send you the list and all useful links where I buy my things online. I buy a lot from the farmers market, all the fresh seasonal foods, the high quality vegetables. But I do order some nuts and seeds, flour here and there, and the seaweed, for example, and some kitchen tools. All my kitchen tools that I use. This is from the kitchen though. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Do you love that
You're
processor?
welcome. Then
Do you love that processor?
yeah, I like that processor. It's a good processor. But any kitchen processor, I have to eat it in front of you here. This is my put in front of you with all the classifications, because that's the best part. Right? Okay, I have the simple one here. Oh, it's really good. I like it.
Oh, this is one demo I'm really bummed I'm not, I can't take.
You feel the crunchiness of the meat, taco meat, and the onion gives it a meaty flavor in here.